In this video, we're going to talk about the Fuji X-T4. We're going to figure out whether or not it's the right camera for you to buy. Yeah! Greetings, fellow human. I hope you're having a fantastic-rifical day. My name is Barron, and I make videos about cameras. I make photo and video tutorials, as well as gear reviews. So if you don't want to miss out on any of that stuff, go ahead and hit subscribe and ring the bell. Bing! Fuji has officially announced the X-T4, and this is less than 2 years after they released the X-T3, which is a pretty quick turnaround, even in the camera world, where like Sony releases a camera every week or two. I mean, this is pretty fast. So we're going to stop calling them Fuji. We're renaming the entire company. We're just going to refer to them as Butter, because they're on a roll. So very quickly, I'm going to go over some of the specs. And by specs, I mean specifications, not little pieces of dust on your sensor. It's a different kind of spec, but this is moving on. It has the exact same sensor as the X-T3, which is actually a really good thing because I really like the sensor on the X-T3. So if you liked the sensor on the X-T3, then you will be happy to know that it's still there. And for the first time in the XT line of cameras, you have in-body image stabilization, IBIS, or, they probably call it some Fuji talk, but it stabilizes the sensor. They have improved the burst rate over the X-T3. Now, in the X-T4, you can do 15 frames per second mechanical, and you can still do all the, up to 30 frames per second electronic. And if you watch my review of the X-T3, which I will put the little link there, right there, there's hardly any rolling shutter. So even with the electronic shutter going super fast, it's really good. And a lot of people are going to be super excited about the fully articulating flippy screen doohickey thing. So that's awesome. And they have added some new film simulations. They have the bleach bypass Eterna version for this one, plus they also added the classic neg from the X Pro 3. That one's in this one as well. This one is actually going to be able to shoot 240 frames per second video. That's super slow motion. That's incredibly slow. There aren't really that many other cameras in this category that can do that. Are there any? I don't think there are any. Well, maybe a GoPro. If that doesn't count, it's a GoPro. And when shooting video in the F-Log, it now has a F-Log View Assist, which adds additional contrast and saturation while you're shooting, so it makes it a little bit easier to hit your exposure, that kind of thing. And also for video, they have a nifty little feature where you can just add a consistent crop across all of your different frame rates and stuff, so you don't have to worry about it changing your field of view. So whatever your greatest crop is, it will use that crop for all of it, which would be useful, I guess, if you were doing kind of a run and gun thing and you didn't want to think about it. I don't know. Could be cool. And strangely, they have actually taken away the headphone monitoring jack. So you can't, monitor your, audio through just the 3.5mm headphone jack. Now you have to do like what they did with the X-T30, which is use a dongle that goes into the USB-C dongle LiFeO. But probably the most exciting improvement for everybody who's ever shot on one of the Fuji cameras, it's got a bigger battery. It's got a bigger, better battery. Fuji made a bigger, better battery. Word. The way I see it, there are 3 reasons why somebody might be considering buying the Fuji X-T4. And they are, as such, in no particular order. Buying your first interchangeable lens camera, and somebody suggested Fuji to you, and you trust that person, or maybe you saw a Fuji camera and went, man, they look cool, because, Fuji cameras do look cool. The next reason is you already have a Fuji camera and you're thinking about upgrading that camera to get newer and better specifications. And then the third reason is you might be considering switching from another camera system to the Fuji system, or adding the Fuji system alongside a different camera system. So let's talk through the first one. If you are buying your first interchangeable lens camera, somebody suggested Fuji to you, or you thought it looked cool, the X-T4 is a whole lot of camera. It's got all kinds of features. It is a professional level camera with professional level features. And if, typically speaking, if you're buying your first interchangeable lens camera, you are generally a beginner, or maybe an intermediate if you've been borrowing someone else's. So the Fuji X-T4 might be more camera than you actually need if you're still learning stuff. So I might actually recommend that you look into some of the older Fuji cameras, like maybe the X-T20 or the X-T2, because you can get about 80% of the features that are in the X-T4. You can get 80% of those features, but at an incredibly good price point. Those cameras are great. Those are great cameras. It doesn't matter that they're a little old now. They are great. I probably should get one because they're great. But don't get me wrong. If you have your heart set on the X-T4, I'm not going to talk you out of it. If you got the money and you can afford it, then by all means, it's a fantastic camera. You're not going to be disappointed. So I say go ahead and get it. And if you decide to do that, I'll put an affiliate link down in the description to help you out. Like I said, I'm not trying to talk you out of it. Just go ahead. There's an affiliate link down there. Now, the next reason is if you are looking to upgrade from an older Fuji camera. Now, if you have any of the older cameras other than the X-T30 or the X-T3, then do not hesitate and immediately upgrade. If you're considering it, just go ahead and do it, because the X-T4's got all the stuff in it. I mean, it's pretty easy recommendation there. You already like Fuji, you're thinking about upgrading, X-T4 has all of the things. So again, there's a link in the description you can go ahead and however, if you have the X-T30 or the X-T3, then it's a little bit different. I would urge you to really evaluate on whether or not the few different features, there aren't a whole lot of different features, there are a few, but make sure that it will actually improve your workflow or your work in general. And if it does improve your workflow a little bit or a lot bit, well, is it worth the difference in cost from the camera that you have now to upgrade to this particular one? For example, is having a flippy screen absolutely critical for the work that you're doing? Is it going to speed up your workflow so much that you will save hours and hours of production time that you can now spend, with your friends and your loved ones, because you're not constantly walking behind the camera to check, stuff, framing and things, I don't know. And will the option of filming in 240 frames per second slow motion get you more or better clients? Because, I can tell you I've had a lot of clients actually turn me down because they said, oh my goodness, we can't hire you because we require 240 frames per second. Our project will not work at all without 240. You can only do 180. That's unacceptable. We're going to go find a different person with 240 frames per second. You plebe. I've never actually had a client call me a plebe, but you get the idea. But like I said, depending on what and how you shoot, it might actually make a really big difference. For example, my friend George is a professional photographer in New Orleans, and he shoots all kinds of photography. He is a master of all things photographic McClick and things like that. And he shoots lots of stuff, including events and weddings, with the Fuji X-T3. So if he were to upgrade to the X-T4, having that larger battery might make a huge difference in being able to get that critical shot at a wedding, during the reception, grandma's doing a shaky dance or something, and if you were changing batteries, you wouldn't have gotten it. Not to mention that having a stabilized sensor in the X-T4 could actually help him get smoother and more stable shots when he switches from stills to video, just in case he wants to get a clip here and there for a client, which it can actually help his business. And he also has a YouTube channel, so having that flippy screen could actually speed up his workflow and mean that he makes more and better content for us people to watch and stuff. Could help. His channel's really cool. He does some behind the scenes stuff, some vloggy stuff, as well as motivational things. I'll put the little Linky McCard thing up there, and I'll also put a thing down in the video pants for a Linky click and stuff, so go check out George. It's good stuff. And George, if you're watching, hey, what's up? And the third reason I mentioned was maybe you're switching from another system to the Fuji system, or you're adding the Fuji system into a collection of camera systems that you may use for all kinds of different things. I do that. I've got 3 camera systems. If you were thinking about doing one of those things, I urge you to ask yourself 2 questions. Number 1, does it give a function that my current camera system does not give me that will improve my workflow, blah, 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 blah. Does it do stuff that my current system doesn't? And the second one, is it fun to use? Is it more fun than my current system? Is it more fun than any of the other cameras that I have? Is it super awesome and fun to use? Because it does make a difference. And that's actually one of my favorite things about Fuji cameras. It doesn't matter if you're a person who loves the dials on the top that go clickety-click, or you don't love the clickety-click dials. It seems like most people who pick up a Fuji camera enjoy shooting stills and video with Fuji. It's got a thing. It's a thing. It's just fun to use. It invigorates the creative juices, and they ooze out of your pores when holding Fuji cameras. That's what happens. So make sure you shower after using a Fuji camera because of all of the creative residue on your skin. And if you answered yes to either of those 2 questions, then congratulations. You should get a Fuji X-T4. And as mentioned before, I have an affiliate link in the description down there. Just got it down there. You can help out the channel. Congratulations. You win. Winner, are you excited about the X-T4? Are you going to buy one? Are you not going to buy one? Tell me what you are going to do in the comments down below. We will talk the Fuji talk, and we will walk the Fuji walk, and we will dance the Fuji dance, which is similar to the safety dance, just without a maypole. If you like this video, do the thing where the thumb goes up. If you did not like this video, do the thing where the thumb goes down. And then maybe you should rethink your life choices and, determine, what you can do to become a thumb upper. And, you can join all the rest of us. We're good people, and, we encourage you to come with us to the thumbs up land. If you want to see more videos like this one, including tutorials and gear reviews, go ahead and click subscribe if you haven't already, and ring the bell. Bing! So that's everything I got for you today, so go ahead and take your camera, take it out into the world, and go make something awesome. Yeah!